The shadows echo, a cat's stoic mark. The night Clara faded from my orbit. I was 37, leaning against the splintered railing of my cliffside shack, the sea's restless murmur weaving through the dark. Ember, my lithe black cat with eyes like molten gold, perched on the porch ledge, his tail a slow lash against the salt wormwood. Her parting words had lingered an hour ago, sharp and casual. You're always around. I'll catch you later, maybe. Her boots crunched down the gravel, the screen door clattering shut, and I didn't chase. Not with my body, but my mind lingered, tracing every moment I'd offered her. My time, my words, my steady presence, all cast aside like a shadow she could ignore. Ember didn't stir, just watched the road vanish into the night, his stillness a silent lesson in my chaos. I thought influence came from being there, constant, reliable, a fixture she'd lean on. I'd given her my attention, believing it carved a place in her world, that my presence would bind her to me. But it hadn't. She'd taken it for granted, assumed I'd always linger, a quiet echo she could summon. Ember leapt down then, padding to his bowl, nosing the dry scraps before turning away to climb the roof. Calm, unbegging. What if I don't chase but stay in her mind? That spark ignited, and watching Ember settle above, gold eyes glinting, I chose a new path. Not manipulation, but mastery, a way to etch myself into her thoughts through absence and intent. Ember, my stoic shadow, would guide me, and the ancient wisdom I'd found in a wind-tattered book would sharpen me. Absence became my first tool, be the empty space she couldn't fill. I'd been too present, a melody she'd stop hearing. Ember taught me, step away and they notice. When a gull stole his fish, he didn't yowl, just sat, licked a paw, and let it fly, his absence louder than chase. I hold the power, I thought, my phone silent, my shack still. I reduced my reach, no texts, no calls, a gracious decline to her next invite. Scarcity breeds value, I knew, the principle etched in psychology's brain. Before I stepped back, I left a mark, warm, confident, a story half told over coffee. Something wild happened up the coast. Remind me to finish that later. Her eyes sparked, but I didn't linger. I walked away, my world rich with cliffs and ink, truly detached. I create value through absence. I affirmed Marcus Aurelius's voice steadying me. Live for yourself. She'd feel the void, wonder where I'd gone, her mind filling it with me. Unpredictability hooked her next. Intermittent reinforcement, a rhythm she couldn't pin. Ember didn't beg. When I dangled a string, he'd sniff, then stalk off, his interest a gift, not a given. Keep them guessing, I thought, vary my replies. Quick and warm one day, slow and brief the next. A surprise, a note slipped in her bag. Heard this song, thought of you, then silence, no pattern to lean on. Unpredictability craves resolution. I knew, the brain's reward system humming, her thoughts circling me. After a laugh over drinks, I pulled back, got to run. Catch you soon, leaving her mid-smile, curious. Intent, not games, I reminded myself, Seneca's words grounding me. Master your impulses. My life pulsed, runs at dawn, stories by lantern, and she'd reach, seeking the next note in my uneven tune. Mirroring her desires bound us deeper. I became her reflection. Embedweiched. When I hummed, he'd tilt his head, sinking to my rhythm, a silent bond. Understand, then echo I saw listening to Clara's tales, her love for wild places, her quiet yin for freedom. I matched her tone, her pace shared a cliffside memory. Felt like the world dropped away up there. Ever chased that? Her nod lit up, our wavelengths aligned. People crave the familiar. I knew psychology's pull of comfort. I dug beneath her need to escape, to breathe, and reflected it. You'd thrive out there, untethered. I reflect deeply. I affirmed my intent pure, not mimicry, stoic integrity my root. She'd see herself in me, a tie she couldn't shake. An unfinished narrative kept me lingering. Psychology's Zygarnik effect, a cliffhanger she'd chase. Ember didn't finish fights. When a stray Tom prowled, he'd leap off mid-stare, leaving tension unresolved. Leave him wanting, I thought, dropping hints, not holes. Ran into someone odd by the docks. Tell you later. Her what? Hung unanswered as I left, her mind looping. Text stayed vague, working on something big, more soon. A mental bookmark she'd revisit. Intrigue, not evasion. I vowed. Marcus's echo firmed. B1. Timing sealed it. Mid-laugh. I'd say, got to go, we'll finish this. Exiting at the peak, her curiosity a tether pulling me back in her thoughts. Mystery cloaked me then. More questions than answers. Ember's gold eyes held depths I'd never plumbed. Reveal, don't explain. I learned, sharing slivers. Projects keep me guessing, never dull. Her like what? Met a pause, a half smile. You'll see. Contrast draws them in. I knew. Logical one day, a wry quip the next. My silence thoughtful, not rushed. Unpredictable depth, I mused, Epictetus whispering. How you react matters. Calm or storm, my growth. Cliffs in quiet nights. Made me a puzzle she'd ponder, authentic, not forced, my allure in what I didn't say. Emotional anchors rooted me in her memory, feelings she'd tie to me. Ember marked moments. When I tossed a scrap, he'd pounce, our ritual of bond. Make them feel I saw, sharing a dusk walk. Ever notice how the sea quiets everything? Her sighs synced with mine, the moment hours. A phrase, catch the wind, became my goodbye. A trigger she'd hear in breezes. Emotions linger. I knew psychology's web of recall. A tale of a storm I'd weathered shifted her gaze. My calm anchored it. Authentic, not obvious. I affirmed Marcus urging, B1. Joy, wonder. She'd feel me in those echoes. A mark time wouldn't erase. Non-reaction set me apart. Calm in her storm. Ember didn't flinch. When thunder rolled, he'd sit, gold eyes steady. Stillness is power, I thought, pausing as she vented. Everything's a mess. No rush, just a nod. It'll pass. Control, not reflex, I knew. Marcus's voice clear. Power over your mind. Praise didn't swell me. Barbs didn't pierce. I observed my silence a rock she'd lean on. Chaos craves calm. I saw her tension easing in my steadiness. I'm unshaken. I affirmed my runs and ink my anchor. She'd think of me as the piece she sought. Suggestion planted seeds, ideas she'd claim. Ember nudged. A rustle, and he'd stalk, my cue to follow. Guide, don't dictate, I learned. Musing, you'd crush it running your own show. Ever think that? Her maybe bloomed later, my voice an echo. Subtle, not forced, I knew, weaving freedom into her dreams. You've got that spark. Loss aversion bites. I thought psychology's pull, her mind owning what I'd sown. A plant with purpose, I affirmed, stoic intent my guide. She'd chase those thoughts, me their quiet source. Lost sharpened her focus. My value a shadow, she'd fear fading. Ember didn't cling. When I left, he'd roam free. Show, then step back, I saw my humor, my insight rare. Then absent, a text skipped, a call delayed. They fear losing what shines. I knew. Epictetus's freedom my edge, not a slave to desires. I walked cliffs, wrote epics, my independence a signal. I'm not hers to keep. She'll feel it, I thought. She'd work to hold what might slip, my worth a quiet ache. Living rent-free crowned it. I became her icon. Ember scent, salt, and dusk mark my shack. Leave a signature. I thought, my see you in the moment, a farewell she'd hear in silence. My steady gaze a cue in her chaos. Resonant sticks, I knew a dusk tale, watched the stars shift last night. Hitting her core, my calmest symbol. Consistent, authentic, I affirmed, Marcus's echo eternal. What we do echoes. Visuals, my cliff-worn coat, my pause. Etched me in her mind, a trigger she'd feel in every quiet wave. A year on, Ember sits on the roof, gold eyes tracing the dawn, while I write by the sea's hum, my shack a vault of intent. Clara's texts, hey, where you at? Fade unanswered, her mind a haunt. Docs steady me, stories rise. I'm stoiccat, shadow of influence, echo of power. I left, now I linger. Not manipulation, but mastery. My mark indelible, my presence a thought she can't shake.